Stand by for audio.
Here we go.
People, look alive! It's showtime!
Uploading in 3, 2, 1.
Walk 97.5 is bringing you the best from coast to coast on the East Coast with Christina K.
Every afternoon she's on in my car.
You're the best at what you do. I mean that sincerely from the heart. You have a great personality, you have a great voice, and you have a great heart. I mean that. You really do, honey.
Thank you
really
so much. How much are they paying you to say that?
No, shut up.
To the West Coast with Kevin Coveas.
Who has a Kevin Coveas sign up there?
Where are the Kevin signs? There we go.
Easter, there's one up here in the front.
Chicken Little from American Idol. I love him.
He's just so cute. You just want to take him home. You just want to pinch his cheek.
Oh man, I have so many stories.
These two are covering all things Hamptons to Hollywood. Kay and Kev starts now.
Episode number 65. It is Christina K and Kevin Coveas. 65 episodes, Kev.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Where does the time go, Christina? I don't know.
And I have a little treat for you, even though it took us 65 episodes for me to get this going. But we're going to be putting every episode on YouTube now. So not just the ones that you come home for, that we film, that we actually have us, but we're going to put every episode on YouTube just to make it more accessible for people to get all the episodes.
I love that people can go back and start a couple. God, it's been 2 years that we've been doing this.
I know. I honestly,
wow.
It at times feels more because you and I have always just had amazing conversations. But then when I'm like, wait, we've been doing this for 2 years, it's like time flies.
Exactly. So yes, definitely go check that out on YouTube. This is a surprise. It's the first I'm hearing of it, but I'm very excited about it.
And hopefully by episode 70, I'll figure out how to do another thing. But we have a couple of new people who have started here that are helping with this stuff now behind the scenes. So I'm hoping that with all of our brain power, we can figure out something else pretty cool to do by episode 70, but knock on wood for that.
Yes, and unfortunately, it's all on you, Christina, because I am technologically inept. Not that I could contribute much anyway, but I really I bring nothing to the table other than these golden pipes that you're hearing right now. So yeah, there you go.
And I feel bad. It sounds like you have a cold today.
I do. I'm talking about how great my voice usually sounds. It does not sound great today. It sounds horrendous because I've got a cold. And man, this virus going around.
I know.
It just has everyone paranoid that like a slight sickness could be more. It's so scary.
Well, here, I don't know if it's the same in California, but it's definitely flu season here. So a lot of my coworkers are out sick with the flu. Some I was so annoyed last week because they actually had the flu and they came to work. I vented about it on our social media. I don't understand why they pushed themselves and then got so many other people sick, but here we are.
Yeah, I appreciate the drive of people like that. Not that I work in a setting like you with lots of people, but I appreciate that drive to want to come to work. But if you're sick, just stay home. Just stay home.
It doesn't do you any good. Nobody else. Like, what's the point?
Exactly.
So very exciting stuff with YouTube. I do want to quickly say it's been quite the week. We lost some people with that helicopter crash, and just tell those you love that you love them. Kevin, I love you. Thanks for doing this podcast with me. Thanks for calling every week, and thank you guys for listening. We love you guys so much.
Christina, I love you too. And yeah, we had to address it. Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and unfortunately, 9 total lives lost, and to all the other kids, to all the other adults on that helicopter. Sunday was quite frankly the worst day. As someone like, me, I'm an actor, I'm a singer, but like my passion, my love is sports, and I grew up watching basketball. I've been watching it since I was 8 years old, and Kobe was just starting out in the league then, and so I remember watching a young Kobe sitting on the bench before he became the superstar that he became, and then the global phenomenon that he became. So this was a horrible day for everyone. But what made it so horrible was just so many lives lost, just a terrible tragedy. And we send all of our thoughts and prayers to everyone involved. And yeah, just tell people you love them, because life is so short, life is so sweet. And that's what we just wanted to get across. We just wanted to put that out there before we get into some of the lighter stuff here.
Yeah, and life is very unpredictable, which, speaking of, transition into our predictions from the Grammys.
Let's move on to lighter things. Let's move on to some Grammy talk, because last week we made some predictions.
Yes. Now,
and
first off,
I think I was accurate with a few of them.
Yes, actually you were. I'm going to give you credit for that.
Yeah.
Did you watch the show?
I did. You know what? Here's the thing, Christina. You got me kind of amped for it because we did these predictions. And truth be told, I like the last couple of years, as you become an adult and more responsibilities, more things going on in your life. I just myself personally, I know you're faithful when it comes to these award shows and you typically tune in. I really haven't done so very much in the past couple of years. So when we made these predictions, I got kind of amped on it again, and I was like, you know what? I want to see this through. I want to see some of the awards. I want to see some of the performances. So I did check out. I didn't watch the entire show, but I did check out quite a bit of it. And we also kind of needed that on Sunday night again after the tragic events. I think we needed that lighter, happier moment. And you know what? It was a great award show. It really was.
I watched I would say probably about half of it. I wanted to see some of the performances, which honestly, all the performances I wanted to see were in the first half of the program. So I watched Lizzo open the show, and I feel like with Lizzo, and we might have talked about this a little bit last week, I feel like people are like, she's not that talented. She's like, her songs are good, they're catchy, but is there a lot of talent there? And man, did she show us with that first song she sang, and then she played the flute, and it was like, what?
Yeah, she came out with like kind of a full arsenal there. Just trying to silence some of the haters. And you know what? I mean, I definitely think she's talented. I just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know because I don't love all the songs, but you can acknowledge that like an artist is talented and vocally has ability and can do all these other things, and also not love the songs. Personally, I don't love all the songs. I love what I've said this last week. I love what they stand for, and she was just nominated for a ton of stuff, and I thought she did a great job. Yeah,
I thought the Jonas Brothers were good. I didn't think it was like great. I was a little like underwhelmed, I guess you could say.
This is brutal honesty coming from you,
know,
Christina.
and I feel so bad.
I love this. I wonder how much like creative control like the Jonas Brothers have over their performance. Like obviously they're huge, global stars. I get all that. But how much of that is, in terms of the performance and where the performance goes, how much of that is controlled by the award show itself and how much is controlled by them? You know what I mean?
That's a good call, actually.
I don't know. So that's why, because it's interesting. Some of the performances were so wild. Like who was the rapper? Tyler, the Creator.
That was
rapper
intense.
Performer. It was intense, and you know what? I'm sure people out there hated it. I kind of liked it. I mean, I was a little dizzy at the end of it. The screen was shaking. I was like, all right, I think I need to go, take an Advil after this. But it was a really cool performance. And then you have Lil Nas X, and that was a really cool performance. I thought it was very involved, and I really enjoyed that. But then you have like Billie Eilish, who arguably, and we'll talk about the winners in a second, but her performance was so simplistic, and it was just her and her brother playing.
Yeah, that's her.
And it was so short, and I was surprised. I was like, I didn't know if they were going to do something more wild, but that's what she wanted to do, I'm sure. So it was interesting seeing how the performances varied like that,
Kevin, do you know what my personal favorite performance of the night was?
What was that?
Demi Lovato.
Oh, she killed it. She absolutely killed it. That was very powerful. Yeah.
I cried. It made me feel emotions, especially learning that song was written 4 days before her overdose, and just like. She was beautiful. It was like a simple performance, but vocally it was great. I thought it was like what you expect from a Grammy performance.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't there was nothing over the top about it, simple. That's why I happen to love Billie Eilish's performance as well, because it was just so simple. There wasn't, it wasn't anything over the top. Demi killed it, and what she's gone through in her personal life, and the near overdose and all those things. Horrible stuff. So yeah, for her to bounce back like that and give a performance like that, she's always been an amazing singer. So I know that one social media seemed to kind of blow up on that one the most, where they were the most excited about that one, I should say.
And I think that was another eye-opening moment of the day. Obviously, we talked about Kobe and telling your loved ones how much you love them, but Demi's performance is a perfect example of listen to those around you, hear what they're saying. Sometimes their actions are a cry for help and not necessarily their words. I feel for her because she had all these people around and no one was listening to her.
Yeah, and that's kind of the frightening thing about fame when it comes to that is you have this group of people around you, and a lot of times they just call them yes men or yes women, where everyone around you is just trying to make sure that you're as happy as possible when really they're not looking out for your best interests. And you hear about this all the time with like the biggest celebrities. And that's a scary thought. I'd rather have just a few people who know me well and would be like, nah, Kev, don't do that, rather than someone who's just kind of enabling me and, and not looking out for my best interests. So that's kind of the more frightening side of fame that people don't think about, because most people are not in that situation and want to be in that situation. Oh, I'd love to have that fame and make all that money and this and that, but they don't think about the darker aspects of it. And that's the stuff Demi Lovato seems to have gone through and seems to have come out the other side now and is really persevering through that. And she gave an incredible performance. Yeah, but what you said is so true. Yeah.
It really made you feel something, and I think Camila Cabello's performance did that too. I thought that she was gonna have a song for Shawn Mendes, and I'm so glad it was for her dad and not for another pop star, because it just made it more relatable.
Yeah, if I just watched one beautiful young pop star singing about another beautiful young pop star, I probably would have turned it off. I'd have been like, all right, that's enough of this. But the fact that it was for her father and it was so genuine, and it was such a beautiful performance. Yeah, I think the more simple performances really won the night. I really loved them. Yeah, we got to talk winners now. We got to talk winners.
All right, so let's start with best pop vocal album. I thought it was gonna go to Taylor Swift just because that's always the way the world works. And you said Billie Eilish, and Kevin, you were right, Billie Eilish.
Oh yeah. All right, 1 for 1. There we go.
Best pop duo group performance. My heart had to say the Jonas Brothers, just because it's the Jonas Brothers.
Yes.
And your heart had to say Old Town Road because you love that song. And it turned out that you were right again.
Oh my gosh. I was 2 for 2. Okay.
He's loving this.
I'm loving it. I'm on cloud 9 right now. Yes.
Best pop solo performance. We had a tie for Lizzo, Truth Hurts, and we were both right.
Oh my gosh. This is amazing. I'm 3 for 3 and you got one on the board. This is very exciting.
Best new artist. We both said Lizzo. We were both wrong. It went to Billie Eilish, who just had a monster night. Song of the year, you said Truth Hurts, Lizzo. I said Louis Capaldi, Someone You Love, which I feel for Louis Capaldi. People thought he was a seat holder, when there's performers that are coming and going and they need someone to hold the seat. Someone thought he was a seat holder. Poor guy.
Yeah.
We were both wrong there. It went to Billie Eilish for Bad Guy. And I feel like Billie Eilish, I didn't feel like she was going to win as much because I guess we don't play Billie Eilish on Walk, so I don't see as much of the success from her as I would do for someone like Lizzo or Taylor Swift. So it was eye-opening for me to see.
Of course. On a daily basis,
yeah.
you don't hear about her as much there. Sure.
Album of the year. You said Billie Eilish. I said Ariana Grande. Billie Eilish even said Ariana Grande, but Billie Eilish took home the award for that one. So you got another one right, Kev.
This is crazy.
And then record of the year, we both said Lizzo, Truth Hurts, and it went to Billie Eilish.
God, she just won everything. That was crazy.
She did. I mean, she was so emotional for that. And I didn't know how she would feel about winning because she has that one song about how fame's really affected her and the attention and everything. But I'm glad to see that she was celebrating herself. And it was really sweet that her brother was there too. And they wrote a lot of this together.
Oh yeah. Her brother is kind of it must be an interesting position because she's on top of the world right now, and her brother always performs with her, and he's super talented in his own right.
Yeah.
But obviously doesn't have the that fame that Billie Eilish has. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool to just go along for the ride and make tons of money and have all this success with her, but not have to deal with the daily nonsense of being a celebrity of that caliber.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's an interesting thing, but they won the night, the two of them, and certainly Billie did her thing. Yeah.
It was very refreshing. I don't know if you feel this way too, to see someone who's not that cookie cutter pop star win these awards. Billie Eilish is very different vocally and just her presence than any other artist we've had. So it was really cool to see someone like that be celebrated.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always nice to get someone who's of a different mold. I mean, we saw this several years ago with the emergence of Lorde and artists like that, where it's like, oh, this is appealing, this is interesting, and this person has a lot of talent. But yeah, they're not of the same vein as a lot of these other up and coming pop stars. So yeah, I think that what makes them different is what is appealing to the mass culture. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's she's doing her thing right now. Now it's about, can you sustain this for the Billie Eilishes of the world, for the Lizzos of the world, these artists that have just catapulted to superstardom this year. It's all about like maintaining that. How does the second album do? How does the third album do?
Yeah,
So
you're right.
yeah, it's really interesting to see what artists stick around and which artists don't, because we've seen this before where, you know, we an artist is like the flavor of the month or the flavor of the year, and then we don't hear from them again. So
I haven't heard the full album. I don't know if you've heard Billie Eilish's full album, but all the songs
heard a lot of them.
All the songs that I've heard are kind of the same, where it's that soft singing. There's nothing drastic with the notes. Is the whole album like that?
Yeah, a lot of it. It's interesting because like Bad Guy, I think Bad Guy's a cool song. It's not like my thing, but I mean she's a very talented vocalist. The same way Lizzo's a talented vocalist, even though some of her hit songs don't show that the whole time because it's a little shouty or kind of talk singy or whatnot. But yeah, a lot of it is that very quiet, like Billie Eilish is like the best whisperer around. She just like whispers. Everything's just like a whisper, you know? I can't even call her a singer all the time because she whispers everything. But yeah, a lot of the tracks are like that. Granted, I haven't heard the entire album, but I've heard the majority of the hits so far and a few others. And yeah, a lot of it has that vibe, yeah.
So I wonder, can she sustain a second album like that? Would that be successful to have another one just like that? Can she do anything else, you know?
Yeah, I think for an artist as kind of unique and out of left field as her, because like we acknowledge she's different. She's different from these other artists. I think it would have to kind of be like a Prince thing, or like a, you know, back in the day where you're constantly recreating yourself and you're trying different things. And I just think that's what I think that's what she's going to have to be. I think the second album I would anticipate will be entirely different from this first one. And I think, having seen her in interviews and stuff a little bit, I think she wouldn't want it any other way. You know, I think that's what she's going for, is constantly doing something different. So we'll see how successfully she does that. It's one thing to say it, but it's another thing to do it. So it'll be interesting to see.
And it's 2020, very unpredictable kind of things going on. So you never know. But
January 2020 is wild. What is going on?
We're on what, the 76th day of this month, it feels like?
It really does feel like it. Yeah, exactly.
One of the things I do love about Billie Eilish, though, and I relate to her, is when she loves something, she really loves something. So I love how her taste in TV shows kind of trickles in to her album. Like she has that one song where she actually samples The Office, the Michael Scarn.
Oh my God, I know. I heard about this.
That was so cool. And also the Wizards of Waverly Place, the theme song, which you can now watch on Disney Plus if you never saw it, is like kind of sampled in Bad Guy.
It's so trippy that like, you know, she's so young that she was directly inspired by Wizards of Waverly Place. You know what I mean? Yes. Like she's just so young. She's like freaking 17 years old.
That's crazy.
And so she was when that show started, she was like a little tyke. She was a little kid. So yeah, it makes sense that she'd be so inspired by that stuff. The same way, you know, you and I constantly, you know, make calls to Boy Meets World and stuff. When we were super young, the stuff that we loved and how people loved, you know, Boy Meets World and Full House and these shows back in the day. That's how she feels about a Wizards of Waverly Place. I just think it's so funny because these artists are so young. It's crazy.
So we have another award show come and gone. I guess the next big one is the Oscars, right?
Yeah, we'll definitely have to chat a bit about the Oscars.
Yeah.
I have a couple of movies I still need to watch. I gotta watch a few more movies. I did go see we don't have to talk about it a ton, but I did go see 1917, that war movie. I don't know if I told you I was going to go see that. That's nominated for a ton of Oscars. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing, Christina.
That's what I'm hearing. It's like people are raving about it, but I don't think enough people are going to see it where it's become like this huge thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's done pretty well. Yeah, and critically, it's done amazing. And I think even someone who doesn't love war movies, because obviously they can be very graphic and be a little too real to watch. This was like a piece of art, the way that they shot it and the single shot. And I think you either really love it or it's not your thing. But for me, like I was just so into it, and I thought it was such a beautifully done movie. And I'm hoping that and Joker take a bunch of awards on Oscar night, and they're nominated for enough of them. I think they will.
Yeah, I think Joker has the most, right?
Yeah, Joker's like it's insane, and people are totally divided on that, rightfully so.
Yeah.
But people, you know, but yeah, it's Oscars are going to be great. Definitely have to watch a few more of those movies that are nominated before the award show. I think it would be interesting.
We'll have to do a predictions for the Oscars because this was fun too. Even though you nailed it, Kev, for the predictions for the Grammys.
Fun.
He's like,
Thank
this
you.
was fun because I was smart. I did it.
You know what? If I didn't get any right, I would have hated it, and I would have been angry because, as I've gone over before, I'm a sore loser. I don't like to lose, so there you go.
Well, you won this one, so congrats.
Yeah. Thank you.
We got a big night on Sunday. This Sunday though, the Super Bowl. Are you excited?
I am excited. Just the tragedies of this past week and kind of, you think it's so funny because I'm such a huge sports fan. All of these, when you put into perspective like the most important things in life, the fact that I love sports so much seems ridiculous after things, like sad, tragic events that happen because, they're just sports. It's just a game. No, it doesn't really matter. But having said that, this is going to be a great Super Bowl, I think, because we got two great teams playing. We got the Kansas City Chiefs. We got the San Francisco 49ers. We have what should be a very eventful halftime show with J-Lo and Shakira.
Oh, yeah.
The two women that always put on a very entertaining show.
And possibly Pitbull. Possibly Pitbull. That's the rumor.
Oh, my gosh. Pitbull's going to come out?
If the three of them are on stage together, I mean, look, it's in Miami. He's Mr. Miami. I feel like it could potentially make sense. And he's got at least a song with J-Lo. I don't know if he's got anything with Shakira, but I feel like the three of them together, that's going to be fire.
I would agree. And who have we had the last couple of years? Last year we had Maroon 5. That was not great.
That was unforgettable. And I love Maroon 5, but it was very unforgettable.
It was, yeah. I forgot about that one quick. But, and then the year before we had Justin Timberlake, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. There were a lot of people that, felt it was okay, but it wasn't up to his caliber, and I totally understand that. Yeah. But this is a completely different direction from that. Getting J-Lo and getting Shakira in there, and like you said, maybe a surprise pop up from someone like Pitbull. So I think it's gonna be very entertaining. It's gonna be an entertaining halftime show too.
It has potential, and we have Demi Lovato returning for the national anthem. I'm sure she's gonna do amazing at that. Now, one of the things that I get yelled at here in the office, because I do happen to watch them at my desk, is I actually ahead of time will watch all the commercials because I don't watch the whole Super Bowl. I'm going to be honest, I probably just tune in for the halftime show. So I saw a majority of the commercials already. There are some really great ones and some that I'm like, how much did you spend on doing that?
Yeah. And isn't that always the case where we're kind of divided on these? The Hyundai ad. We got to talk about this. Is just a stroke of genius. You have well, of course you love it because Chris Evans is in it, but
Evans and John Krasinski from The Office, who I also adore.
And the incredibly underrated Rachel Dratch, who is so funny and has never gotten her due. Let me just say, this is why I'm so thrilled she's in a monster hit Super Bowl commercial because she's so funny and talented and was great for years on SNL and has been great in character roles since. And so you get the three of them out of the Boston area doing the Boston thing for Hyundai and Smat Pack, and it is. If you haven't seen it, Smart Park ad, go watch it because it is wildly funny. It's going to kill on Super Bowl night again for those who haven't seen it. And yeah, it was great.
I have never been more jealous of any one particular person in my life because she's in between the both of them in that commercial. And I'm like, I just want to be her. And I don't even care what we talk about. I just want to have a conversation with the two of them.
Right. They're just so cool. She's with two of the coolest dudes on the planet. Yeah. And two of the funniest guys. And the three of them together were just wildly funny. I wish they, for fear that they'd run that into the ground, I wish they would do another one. But maybe just let it be. Do the one ad. But yeah, that one looks amazing. I haven't seen a ton of the other ads yet. I'm unlike you, Christina. I want to be surprised by some of the ads on Super Bowl.
But you'll actually watch the Super Bowl is like a holiday for you, right? Like you watch the whole thing, you snack, you do that whole thing. I just tuned in for the halftime show.
I live for Super Bowl Sundays. I'm going to be going up to my friends Emily and Adir. They're having a party, and I'm going to go up there. And yeah, so it's a big thing for me. Love eating good food. Good game, good halftime show. And I love the whole thing because I love sports and I love the entertainment aspect of it. So yeah, it definitely appeals to me more so. But yeah, it's gonna be a good Super Bowl Sunday. I can feel it.
Who are you rooting for? Not that I really know either team, but
This one's difficult. I think based on the coach, the two coaches, gosh, I'm blanking on one of the names of the coaches right now. The 49, which is embarrassing for me because I know sports so well. 49ers have a young coach, and the Chiefs have a guy, Andy Reid, who was with the Eagles for years, and he's a veteran, and he's just amazing. So I want him to win a Super Bowl, and he's never won a Super Bowl, but he's had amazing success otherwise. So I think I'm going to side with the Kansas City Chiefs, but they're both great teams. Whoever wins. Honestly, I'm just happy the Patriots aren't in it because I hate the New England Patriots. So I'm thrilled. I'm just thrilled they're not in the game. That's like a victory in and of itself that the Patriots are not playing in this game.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is there a female coach in this Super Bowl?
Yes, there is. There is a female coach. This is an assistant coach on the San Francisco 49ers side. Yeah, and she's wildly talented and gosh, I'm blanking on her name too, but yeah, just an incredible story. That's like another incredible story leading up to Super Bowl week is the fact that we have a female coach in the NFL who's killing it and working her way up the ranks, which is just a beautiful thing to see. Yeah,
it's nice that we can celebrate a bunch of things going on in Super Bowl Sunday this year. I think it's hopefully a sign of things to come in 2020.
Absolutely. Kyle Shanahan. That's the name of the Niners coach. I had to get it out. It was driving me crazy. Sorry. Okay. Nobody cares. Nobody listening to N Kev cares, but I'm going to say it. His name is Kyle Shanahan. There we go.
You know what they do care about, though, Kev? Our final questions of episode 65, and I'm going to let you go first.
Okay, I'm going to go first. Okay. We saw I saw, and I'm sure you saw a few of them as well, just unbelievable tributes to the life of Kobe Bryant this week. From hosts of shows and just people on TV, Ellen DeGeneres, Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, just stuff that just made me bawl. I mean, I started crying. It was just so sad listening to these tributes. If there was, and it just got me to thinking about some of the great talk show hosts, and I don't think I've asked this one. I hope I haven't asked this question. If you could be a late night guest on one of the talk shows, only one of them, who would it be?
A late night, not like a talk show guest, like a late night.
I mean, yeah, because I think you're going to say Ellen. So let's take her out of the equation.
You know I love Ellen.
No. I want to make this a little more difficult for you. Late night. So
I'm probably going to say Jimmy Fallon for two reasons.
Okay.
One, it's here in New York. Love it. And two, he just seems so chill, and everyone has the nicest things to say about him. So I would say Fallon. I have seen taping of James Corden, which I think I've mentioned before, and that was cool, but it was different. I actually was on, not like you were on Kimmel, but I was on a random thing on Kimmel once. So I feel like I kind of was technically already on it. So I'm going to go with Fallon.
I love it. I choose Kimmel just because he's my favorite again. Yeah. I would go back on Kimmel, but this time I'd want to do it as a big actor, So hopefully that happens for me. But yeah, I'd go Kimmel, yeah.
One thing I will say about Kimmel is that when he has a movie takeover, they go all out. With Star Wars, they created the inside of the Millennium Falcon, and they had a big thing for Marvel. So I always love those episodes that he does.
Oh, yeah, ABC doesn't play. They go big time for Kimmel, yeah.
No, I love me some anything in the Disney company.
Absolutely.
All right, mine is just totally random because we do that here on K and Kev. I want to know what is one thing that people don't seem to like too much, but that you actually enjoy. It could be a movie, it could be food, whatever. Something that people give a lot of flack, but you actually enjoy it.
Oh my gosh, this is such a deep question. Honestly, it seems like a simple question on the surface, but it's pretty deep. I want to go food. I mean, do people like vegetables? Do people?
I do.
Oh God, do you like broccoli?
Don't, though. I do.
Oh, then this is a terrible answer. I thought I was going to be one of the few. I mean, I guess people like vegetables. This is a terrible answer. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with broccoli. Can I go with broccoli? Can I just take the easy way out? That's such a dumb answer.
No, that's great. I think that's a great answer.
We just got our dumbest answer on K and Kev in the history of this show. That's amazing. What's something that people don't like? Broccoli. Okay, yeah, let's go with that. Great. All right, I'm done.
Well, and there you have it, another episode. You can now find all of our episodes on YouTube. Just search Walk 97.5. We're so excited to be a part of there every week. And don't forget, when Kevin comes home, which we love, we will actually be filmed in the studio, so you can see us talking about all this stuff as well. And then hopefully by episode 70, I'll have a new platform too. We'll see.
That would be amazing. That's ideal. Let's hope that happens.
Watch, it's going to be episode 100 by the time I figure it out. But, Kevin, have fun. Enjoy the Super Bowl. I hope your team wins. I hope you have a great time at your party. And I will talk to you next week, which, oh my gosh, Kevin, next week I will be 31.
Oh my gosh, we got a birthday coming up. We have birthday celebrations coming up on episode 66. Let's go.
Have a good one, guys.
All right, bye guys.